Wrestling fans, you got the show here, Big Slam Wrestling. We're here to talk about TNA and the X Division. We're here to talk about what can be done to bring it back to the forefront of the wrestling industry. Fans out there today only know of what it once was and hear about what it could be. Well, it's time to put our money where our mouth is and get it done. As I like to say, the revolution is now. We're going to let TNA, Dixie Carter, Dave Lagana, Al Snow, Christy Hemme, Jeremy Barash, everyone at Spike and Panda know what we need and what we demand as fans. There's a million of us strong that watch the product every single week without fail. What needs to be done is we need to rebuild the X Division. Monies are there. Contracts are not going to be re-signed. Word is, sadly enough, that Kurt Angle will not be re-signing with the company. There's a good shot that Christopher Daniels and Kazarian also will not be returning when their contracts are up. On the bright side, this frees up a large amount of cash for the company. Now, in the European market, not only does Impact air, they have a show called Wrestling Explosion. That's its own show, TNA talent with different matches that did not air on Impact. I suggest that something similar be done here in the States. This show to be broadcast, say, on a Saturday night. And it would be, if you want to use the TNA Explosion, have it be X Explosion for the X Division. You got the X Division champion currently from Wrestle One, Sonata. You got TJ Perkins under the mask as Manic. You got the King of the Night, Kenny King, Zema Ion, Chris Sabin, Austin Aries, Tigre Uno. We do currently have Daniels and Kazarian. And we have the Wolves of Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards. Now, what I like to bring in, and this is regardless, I don't care what contracts and deals need to be made. One of the biggest things the TNA has got to do in order to secure these guys from the independents is cancel the previous booking where they were not allowed to perform on an independent show that had internet pay-per-view or was made available on DVD. You got to throw that out the window if you want to have these guys wrestling for you, as long as they are not wrestling. In my opinion, for right now, Ring of Honor would be out, and obviously WWE, NXT. Anybody else, game on. You want to wrestle for them, as long as it's not interfering with your pay-per-view and your TV recordings, sky's the limit. I want to see them go for biggest one would be the greatest contract signing in ages. Would be from New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ireland's own Prince Devitt from the Bullet Club. All right, you need to get Trent Beretta. Want to get a guy by the name of Rich Swann and Ricochet, both from Evolve and Dragon Gate USA. CZW fans are aware of them. They're also a tag team known as the Inner City Machine Guns. They are two of the greatest high flyers and cruiserweights in the business today, and they are monumental in the rebuilding of the X Division, in this fan's opinion. You got a team that's got a loose contract with Ring of Honor, which I believe they could be taken out of. That's Rocky Romero and Alex Kozlov, Forever Hooligans, another New Japan tag team, magnificent. Young Bucks, other team from New Japan and the Indies out there. They've ridden the TNA before under the moniker Generation Me. Nick and Matt Jackson need to be signed to this new X Division and made to be stars, pushed to the limit and treated as the big eventers that they are, because they are the biggest independent stars in the industry as we speak. Guy by the name of Tyson Dukes. Those on the indies know of him. He's a guy, for some unknown reason, has never been signed with a major company. The guy is fantastic. He's close friends with Chris Daniels and Kazarian, and he would fit in perfect with TNA's X Division. I'd like to see them get a hold of the Kentucky gentleman, Chuck Taylor. All right. Reach in the Ring of Honor and bring back a TNA original, New Jersey's own Jay Lethal. Jay has not been used properly in Ring of Honor, and I think he would be eager to come back to TNA if he knew titles awaited him and he was going to get the push and the respect that's due to an athlete of his caliber. I would bring back two other originals from the old X Division days to have a little stability, a little training for the younger guys that could help bring them along. So along with Jay Lethal, I would bring in Amazing Red and Sanjay Dutt. Other major signee that would be a huge sign would be Dragon Gate USA's and Evolve's #1 man, Johnny Gargano. It would be a tough sell, but I think if the right deal could be struck with Gabe, I think it could be done. And I think it would be a smart endeavor by TNA to get an open, working relationship with Dragon Gate and Evolve, along with Japan, and they can concentrate and have massive international flavor type of pay-per-views. They can do matches in Japan and in Mexico and take it anywhere in the country and sell out when you're performing with matches of men of this type of style. This is what the industry is all about right now. The independents want this. They don't want backstage promos. They don't want shenanigans. They want wrestling. Now, you want to call them spot monkeys. You want to, tell them they're not, no sells. You know what it does? It sells seats, and it puts asses in them. And for the X Division, that's what you need to have them do. That this, although it would be part of TNA, its own separate program on Explosion, Saturday nights, you bring back the six-sided ring. They tour on their own. They can have their own pay-per-views. This is the future for TNA. And I'm going to throw one other name out there, a guy who I've always liked. Never got the right deal. He's had his problems. But Matt Sydal, you better know him as Evan Bourne from the WWE. Sign him as well. Another guy he's young, although he's been in the business for many years. He's outstanding, and he's another one that can help train and get the younger guys brought up in the business and able to handle the X Division and how it is to work on big-time television and for a major company. What this does is free up Thursday Night Impact for a 2-hour show that can concentrate simply on their regular roster for the world title and the Knockouts division. I myself would bring back in the television title with a 10-minute or 15-minute limit every week. That title will be defended. The world title would not be defended on regular television on a regular basis anymore. Treat that like you treated it in the past, where it was a special event. You paid money to see the world champion put it all on the line. That means if you're going to have your cash money pay-per-view, which you have on Sunday nights, that's where the belt is on the line. If you're going to have your free special pay-per-views, no longer will they be on Thursday Night Impact. Why? You're making it just a regular episode of Impact with a little bit of paint on it. No, those shows need to be held live, on the road, at a different arena every time. And you have those on Sunday nights as well. Even though it's free, you put that up against anything else going on a Sunday night. It's your free pay-per-view to go up against anybody else that's charging for a show. If you don't want to do it for Sunday night, you pick the night. I'm just saying Sunday seems to be pay-per-view night across the country for pro wrestling. Saturday nights is the indies. You don't want to mess with them because you want to work with them. You want to get a working relationship going with the indies along with your new X division, and you can bring wrestlers in, move them out, and it'd be simply like the territories back in the day when one guy gets a little bit tiresome here, we bring him out, we bring another one in. You could have tournaments, you could have a special X division, X Cup, you could have tag team tournaments, battle royals, ladder matches, Full Metal Mayhem, Ultimate X matches. Sky is the limit. Marinate on that. Think about it. If you're positive for something like this and you're down with it, be part of the revolution. Retweet. Get in contact with the heads of TNA and all these wrestlers that I've mentioned and tell them that you want to see them on Impact, on TNA's X Division show, and you want what you want, and we're the fans. We pay the tickets. We put our asses in the seats. We watch it on TV. Either put up or shut up, because we can take it on the road, Jack, and go watch anything else out there. WWE's network and NXT is competition. All right, TNA needs to think about that. Ring of Honor, they need to think about that. Evolve, Dragon Gate USA, CZW, all of you are facing the WWE and the juggernaut known as this network. It's time that all the rest of the pro wrestling think about working together and stop fighting amongst themselves and stand up and put an outstanding product available to the fans. That's all the show's got for this week. I'll see you down the road.